Welcome to the most listened to golf in the world, the Fairways of Life show, on air, online, and around the world, with the most candid interviews, unforgettable stories, taking you beyond the ropes. Here's your host, New York Times best-selling author, Matt Adams.
It is such a pleasure to welcome you here to the 152nd Open at Royal Troon. You can see we're broadcasting from inside of the media center this week. There's so much already going on. We're going to get into talking about a little bit of the history of the Open here at Royal Troon and hearing from some of the very, very big names as they are ready to go here and to take on this golf course, and what will that mean, and what their thoughts are coming into the week. You know, I like to do that major championship weeks. I love to get, and by the time that you guys are seeing this wherever that you're consuming the Fairways of Life show, you have this opportunity to reflect between what were their thoughts coming in and how does ultimately that manifest itself as they play this 152nd Open. So we're going to talk about that. As the week progresses, as the show progresses, we'll have more time to go through more of this 152nd Open. But first of all, we want to reflect on what took place last weekend, because it was, from a golfing perspective and I guess from a sporting perspective with everything that was going on, absolutely mighty. Let's start with what took place right here in Scotland. It was on the other side of Scotland where one of Scotland's native sons, Bob MacIntyre, was able to etch victory at the Scottish Open. It was an emotional victory for MacIntyre. You can see him finishing on the mark of 18 under par. It was a one-shot victory over Adam Scott. In terms of what he did and how he did it, it was his officially second PGA Tour win, because remember, the Scottish Open is a co-sanctioned event. He did it in his 49th career start at 27 years, 11 months, and 11 days. His two wins then at the 2024 RBC Canadian Open, and then of course on Sunday at the Genesis Scottish Open. He played the final 5 holes at the Renaissance Club in 4 under to win. He's the third multiple winner on tour this season, joining Scotty Scheffler with 6, Rory McIlroy with 2. Only MacIntyre and Scheffler have won multiple individual stroke play titles this season, because remember, one of Rory's was with Shane Lowry as a team event. The first-year tour member earns 500 FedEx Cup points and move from number 39 to number 16 in the FedEx Cup standings. That's become important now as we're winding down the PGA Tour season, heading towards the playoffs, believe it or not, already. He's projected to move as high as number 16 in the official world golf rankings as well, and that would be up from 44th. His previous high was 39th following his win at the RBC Canadian Open. So after he finished, he met with the media to talk about the significance of accomplishing what he did. He won the Scottish Open in his land.
It's unbelievable. I mean, my reaction when that ball dropped on 18 just said it all. I just almost lost my voice now, but it's the one I wanted and it's the one I got. It's just, I've watched it as a kid growing up, and it meant a lot. It was really the only one that I could go and watch, and yeah, it's just, I can't believe it's happened, and just going to go and celebrate tonight. It was. I said to Mike when we walked off a 10, I said to him, 16 or 17 could win this, because no one was getting away, no one was making a move, and obviously the bogey in 10 was disappointing, but I said to you last night, the only thing I can do is give 110%, and that's what I done, and I got lucky at 16 and took the one chance I got on 18, and it was just meant to be. Yeah, over the tee shot, there was only one bunker in play. It was the second one down the left. The wind was favourable. It was down out the left. We just try to hit a hard cut off the right side. Just don't overcut it. And the job was just give yourself a chance. And the second shot was nicely positioned into the heart of the green. I didn't know if it was pin high or not, and got up there and it's nicely pin high, and it was just standing over the putt. I was just like, this is a chance you wanted, take it. And felt so good over the putt, hit it, and I thought it was half a roll short when it was going. It was just looked like it was running out of legs, but it was just, yeah, it was just perfect. it was just outside the right edge. It was a double breaker. It was breaking early to the right, and then the last like 8 feet was just peeling left, and I seemed to have on that back nine. Or all day I had just double break putts, but they were moving quite a lot. And this one was just shallow, and it was the one I was most comfortable over, and yeah, it was perfect. It was everything. It was just, I mean, I've lost my voice from the scream that I let out. Last year was heartbreaking, but this year was, yeah, it means everything. This is one that's, I said I wanted it at some point in my career, and I got it today. Yeah, I'm from a working class background. I've got 2 older sisters. My parents foster. We've currently got a foster boy just now that's been with us for 6-7 years. I was given a great opportunity by my whole family. We used to have a horse for my sisters. Couldn't afford to do both, and my sisters gave up the horse and gave me a chance to go and travel some within Britain. And I was out, rain, hail, shine. I was out grafting, practicing when I was young, and yeah, I was never given. I'm from the West Coast. It's been difficult, obviously weather-wise, but your face doesn't fit exactly because you're not a central belt guy, and I just had to graft at it. And the biggest thing for me was never give up. And a lot of people might say, he doesn't quite have this, he doesn't quite have that, but I've got fight, and that's all I need. It is. I mean, winning in Canada was emotional, really emotional, because obviously it was my first PGA Tour win. My dad was in the bag. I never thought it would happen. This one I was very calm. Standing over that putt, my hands, normally I get a little bit maybe shaky in the hands, which is just, it's natural, everyone gets it. But the putter felt heavy, my hands were calm, and when that putt went in, it was just, I had so much emotion that I just let it out, and it's just this is the one I wanted. Now there's some more to get. Do you know, I actually had a tear in my eye before I hit the putt, before I got Mike to go and get my water to try and reset, but I was getting emotional before I started to read the putt, and then I was like, you still got to do a job here, and yeah, I done it. It was incredible to have my whole family and friends there, and everyone that supported me were there, and it's a lifetime dream. Yeah, again, there was a couple of swear words out of almost shock, and I just thanked them. All the boys, my mates were there, and obviously we're just having a laugh and stuff, but I just thanked my mum and dad, and it's just incredible to be able to do this, and them still being here and being able to support me. My dad obviously came down Friday night when I made the cut, because he's a negative man, and just doesn't leave till probably I was on about the 15th hole when he realised he's going to make the cut, and they'll support me through thick and thin. He'd have been watching the phone, but it's just to have the support, not just from them, but my friends, my sisters, Shannon, my girlfriend, my team, through all the coaches, from my management, and then obviously the support I had out there was top drawer. How I come down from this I don't think I will. I think I'm just going to try and ride a wave, and next week, yeah, it's the Open Championship, and it means, again, a lot to me, but you got to celebrate the good times, because it doesn't happen a lot, and this is the one that I've said I wanted, and this one will be celebrated hard, and I'll pitch up when I tee the ball up on Thursday, whatever time I tee it off. I'll try to win the Open Championship, and there might be some alcohol still in the system, but I will try my best, and I'm not really too worried about. I don't worry about the Rookie of the Year. I think everything else that comes with this is better than the Rookie of the Year. But no, look, I'm going to celebrate this one with my friends and family, everyone that's there. I don't think they're going to be going home to Oban tonight. My best mate was meant to be working on call tomorrow morning, and he ain't going to call tomorrow. But no, we'll celebrate this one well.
Bob, you mentioned that you're going to quite rightly celebrate this hard. Should we expect to see you in the press tent tomorrow, or are we going to expect a change of schedule?
I think there might be a change of schedule. I don't think I'll be in a fit state to get to Troon for, I think it was 3 p.m. I don't think won't be legally allowed to drive.
There was a change of schedule. He did not show up for that press conference to start things at Royal Troon. But congratulations to Bob MacIntyre. Again, now a multiple-time winner on the PGA Tour, a breakthrough victory for him because the Scottish Open was a tournament that he considered one of his majors, which is really, really cool that he was able to play it off. And from all accounts, the partying on Sunday night was indeed mighty. Rory McIlroy was back in the mix again, a tie for fourth for Rory McIlroy, finishing on the mark of 14 under par. It was his sixth top 10 finish in 15 starts on tour this year. Rory McIlroy reflected on how close he was, how happy he is with his game, particularly in light of what took place at the U.S. Open at Pinehurst.
Got a shot worse every day, 65, 66, 67, 68. Yeah, it was good. I mean, I felt like I was hitting good putts over the weekend, and definitely the greens got a lot slower when that rain came in yesterday. And then I couldn't really get a handle on them today. I was leaving a lot of putts short, and when they do get that slow, I actually find it a little trickier to read them. So I had a lot of chances that I wasn't able to convert, and that was sort of the story of the week. Felt like the ball striking was there pretty much every day. There was a few scrappy bits here and there, but overall it was a good week to see where my game is heading into next week, especially after the back of 3 weeks off. And overall, pleased with the week, with one eye on trying to defend here, but obviously with an eye on trying to get prepared for Troon as well. Yeah, I think it's really good. I got a little bit. I haven't played links golf since Hoylake last year, so it was good to get back on a links course for the first time. Got to play in a little bit of wind today. It's still not much, but a little bit more than we had. And then, just getting acclimatized to the shots that you need, and maybe I don't think the speed of the greens are going to be too dissimilar next week as well. So just trying to adjust to that. So overall, I feel like my game's in really good shape heading into the final major of the year.
Next week, of course, is this week, and the winds are considerably more here at Royal Troon than what they faced at the Scottish Open. There were 2 major championships that were decided in the week that was at the Avion. Japan's Ayaka Furuway birdied the 15th, 16th, and 17th hole. She made an eagle on the 18th hole to secure this major championship. Afterwards, she spoke about what she accomplished.
I didn't believe that I can get the major win, so I'm so happy right now. I became a Star Wars fan like a month ago, and then I loved the sentence with "May the Force be with you," and then I believe that sentence quote on 15th hole. The sentence came out with my mind, and I was just keep going on with that quote. Yeah. I feel so honored to be the winner of major champion, but I feel like I put every effort to win every tournament. So I feel very comfortable with this win, but just take one win on the tour was really good for me.
One of the great finishes all time in major championships. It was a great finish for Sergio Garcia individually. It was a great finish for Sergio and his team at Live Andalusia. Afterwards, Sergio reflected on what he accomplished individually and collectively.
Yeah, it was, it was amazing. Very overwhelmed after making that putt on 18 to win, after seeing my teammates win it, as the team event. It was, it was amazing. So much hard work, so many hours put in with my wife, with my dad, with Matt, my mental coach, with everyone, with Andrew, with obviously with Neil, my new caddy. It's been it's been hard. It's been great. Don't get me wrong. It's been great, but it's been hard. Losing a couple of playoffs this year, being really close to qualifying for the Breeze Open and trying to make it my 100th major. So just missing close, like 10 days ago. So it's been a roller coaster for sure, but. I knew I was playing well. I love this place. I love these people, and so thankful to everyone for what we're able to achieve today. And I don't know. I might be wrong, but I think that if the soccer team wins tonight, it could be probably one of the biggest days in the history of Spanish sports. I would say. Alcaraz winning, us winning both individually and as a team, and then the national team winning the Euro Cup. It would be amazing to have all those four things happening the same day. It would be amazing. Yeah, they're all worth it, Jane. They're all worth it. They're all a learning process. They're all they're all. Don't get me wrong. Every time you get into a playoff or you're finishing second or something like that, you've had a great week. Obviously, we all want to win, and sometimes it doesn't happen, unfortunately. But they're all great weeks, and they're the weeks that you can learn a lot from. And that's what I try to do. Even though when you just finish, it stings and it hurts and it's tough. But then when you settle down and you start thinking about it and all the great things you did throughout the week to give yourself a chance, you realize that it was a great week. So obviously this week is even better. It was. They're all good learning experiences. Obviously, I won 2020, so I guess it's just a little bit under 4 years when I won Sanderson's Farm. But it's very important. It's obviously huge. I keep telling everyone how difficult it is to win out here. At the beginning, everyone thought that we're all retired here and there was no competition or anything like that. And it's so hard to win out here. All these guys, they practice so much, and I'm practicing more than I ever did before. And 44, because if I don't, I feel like I'm gonna get stuck behind. So it's really amazing to be able to do it in your home country, in front of my family, in front of so many friends, and on my favorite golf course. So it's obviously super nice. I said at the U.S. Open that I am so thankful for Liv, and I don't want to sound like I'm bragging or anything like that. I've been very fortunate to play pretty much every single major since the Breeze Open in '99 until 2023. I only missed the Masters because of COVID. And even though you realize that the majors are super important and it's what we love to play and stuff, when you get the chance of playing so many in a row, you start forgetting how difficult it actually is to make it into those majors. This last year and a half or so, I've realized how difficult it is, going and playing qualifiers and stuff like that. And you're playing one day, you hit 2 bad shots and you're out. So it's giving me a definitely a different perspective on the majors, on how much they mean, on how much harder I'm trying when I'm playing them. And the U.S. Open was a good example of that. I was trying so hard to have a good week and play well and get in the top 10, so then I will qualify for the next year and things like that. And then obviously play the qualifier a couple like 10 days ago for the British Open and just missing out. So I know even more how hard it is and how important the majors are, and I still want to play as many as I can. And hopefully things get better and we start getting spots into coming into some of the majors. But if not, I'll just keep playing qualifiers until my body says enough is enough, I guess.
Interesting, and I think important perspective there from Sergio Garcia, talking about the run that he's had in major championships heretofore. You know what, Dom? I'm going to pull you in here for a second because I want to find out about if you've done a question of the day today and what have you, for maybe looking back on the week that was. But it was a big day for Spain on that Sunday, and Sergio is missed when he's not at a major like this, but I liked his positive perspective in terms of looking forward and saying, you know what, I hope and I want to and I expect to play in a lot more.
Yeah, it was a massive day for Spain. The national team that he referenced did, in fact, end up beating England and winning the European Championships. And he mentioned also briefly there that Carlos Alcaraz did beat Novak Djokovic, in fact, in straight sets in Wimbledon. And then they go and win, and their team wins. So it was a very, very big day for Spain. Probably a bit of a stretch that qualifies as the biggest day ever in the history of Spanish sports. But it was a very, very big day for Spain. And Sergio, obviously, you can see how happy he is. And for whatever it's worth, it certainly seems to mean a lot to him that he won his first time on LIV, as well as his team winning at the same time. He seemed pretty happy to me, Matt.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about that. Did you do a question of the day in today's show? And remember, guys, when we talk about questions of the day or signing up for giveaways or whatever it is that we're doing, just log on to our Fairways of Life YouTube page and make sure that you're subscribing there. You can see it there as well. So what do you have for the people?
The question of the day is, we're all looking forward to the Open Championship and golf in Scotland, is, have you ever played golf in Scotland? Have you ever been to Scotland and played golf, yes or no? And I have to say, so far 68% are saying no. We gotta get a group to Scotland, Matt.
We'll work on that as well. Now, another international star won another major championship, the Colleague Company's championship. It used to be called the Senior Players, and this one was Ernie Els. Now, amongst the spoils, this is his first major amongst the senior ranks. Amongst the spoils is he will also play in the Players coming up next March. So Ernie reflected on what he accomplished.
Yeah, this is going to still have to settle in a little bit. It was quite a day. I was really good there at stages, and then had a really good front nine, got myself in the position where I wanted to be. It's great. I mean, as I said on the green there with John Cook, I've been watching these, my fellow players, have a lot of success, like Steve and Bernard and many other players, Freddie, Couples. I mean, most of my peers have had more wins than me since I've joined here at the Champions Tour. So I really felt I needed to up my game a bit, and I feel like my game's running into good shape. I feel a lot of my disciplines, the driving has really come around. I'm hitting a lot more fairways. Iron play is pretty okay. So I'm looking forward to good things, We don't have much time, I mean, I'm 54, so I mean, I'd like to have a good ride, I mean, I'd like to, play well and try and get some wins under the belt and see where it takes me, but take it as it comes, But Steve has been definitely a motivating factor, the way he's performed and some of the other guys. No, it'll be very mild. Got the family. Hopefully they're showering at the moment, so we can pack. And I'll get a shower, and then we'll head over and fly over. You know, the Clarks are coming with me, Darren and Allison, and Ben's coming, and Liesl and myself. So the little plane's going to be packed. So hopefully we get there, and I'm sure I'll have a couple of cold ones with Darren, surely. You know, hey, what do you think? Yeah.
So coming into this week of the Open, the thoughts of Tiger and Rory and Scotty, all of that will be lying ahead. We have a lot to go through with you. Want to go through the golf course as well. Maybe pick out a couple individual holes or collectively go through and tell you about what Royal Troon is all about. There's been some tweaks to it. Nothing major, I would say. It's under 200 yards longer than it was back in 2016, but we'll talk about that as well. We're also going to get a tour of a major Champions Trophy case coming up, which is going to be very fun. It's all happening right here at Royal Troon as we broadcast live from the 152nd Open. The Fairways of Life show is presented by the PGA Tour Superstore, the #1 golf retailer from coast to coast. You need it, you will find it. Whether you swing it, whether you wear it, whether you need to learn from it, you will find it inside of their stores. Check out the PGA Tour Superstore at pgatoursuperstore.com or go there and shop with the pros.
PGA Tour Superstore pros aren't born. They're made. Every January, hundreds of associates talk to the top manufacturers, learn about the latest clubs, test the newest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together, hit over 100,000 balls. All so they can get you the perfect fit.
In Ireland, golf is more than just a game. Come and experience our world-famous links courses and our world-famous parkland courses, all set alongside world-famous scenery. And visit our world-famous historic sites. And while you're here, enjoy our world-famous hospitality. Fill your heart with Ireland at ireland.com/golf.
Ben Hogan Golf Equipment is back. Established in 1953, we serve golfers who demand excellence of their equipment. Designed by the game's best engineers, forged in the world's best foundries, and built to order in the USA. Don't settle for off-the-rack disappointment. Elevate your game with custom clubs at direct-to-consumer pricing. Exclusively at benhogangolf.com. That's benhogangolf.com.
The Gen 6 iron is a culmination of everything that we have learned as a team, the absolute best golf club I've ever hit. It's something special. Say hello to the new PXG Gen 6 iron. The longest, most accurate irons we've ever made. They go higher and farther than any iron that I have hit to date, and they're so easy to hit. Super excited for the consumer to try this. They're gonna love them.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Baseball? Nah. Football? Done it. I think I'm gonna go after the PGA Tour.
Playing on the PGA Tour is not easy. But you know what is easy? Hitting the 524 series from Tour Edge.
Hitting linebackers and home runs used to be easy.
Out here, you're gonna need all the easy you can get. Introducing the 524 series from Tour Edge. The easiest clubs you'll ever hit. Even the best players in the world can use a little easy.
I like the sound of that. Look out, PGA Tour.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
Boyne Golf provides the ultimate world-class golf destination with 10 championship-caliber courses spanning 3 resorts. Centered in Michigan's northern Lower Peninsula, the courses are the products of some of the game's masters, including Robert Trent Jones Sr., Arthur Hills, and Donald Ross. From the all-inclusive vacation packages, elite instruction with the Boyne Golf Academy, tournaments, and so much more, Boyne Golf truly offers an unrivaled Michigan golf vacation experience. Just log on to BoyneGolf.com. Royal Troon. You'll be able to hear the coverage, the team that I'm a part of every year, which is the World Radio feed. And you can hear that on theopen.com. You can hear that on the official Open app. You can hear it if you're in North America or in the United States. You'll be able to hear us. It will be our broadcast on all day Thursday and Friday. And then early on Saturday and Sunday, I think till about 10 a.m. Eastern time, if I had to estimate. I'm not 100% certain. And then from there, after the SiriusXM crew will finish their own broadcast if you're listening on SiriusXM. But otherwise, you can hear us finish at the aforementioned the Open app or theopen.com websites, either one. So one of the things that makes the majors so special, at least in light of the last couple of years with where the game is at its highest competitive tiers, is that at these Opens, it is a much, much, much better chance, dramatically better chance, for us to see all of the best players in the world competing against each other. One of those that is competing here, of course, this week is United States Ryder Cup captain Keegan Bradley. And Keegan was asked, as you guys recall, in his press conference about this philosophy of how do we all just get together? How do we just get the best of the best representing, in his case, Team USA? Here was the way that Keegan Bradley answered that to Remind.
So I think the biggest thing is that week all coming together as a team. It's very difficult. Us golfers are individuals, and we celebrate wins by ourselves, losses by ourselves, and that week is about coming together as a team, doing what's best for the team. Whether that's partnering up with somebody, a veteran to a younger guy. That's what happened to me with Phil, and that helped me with not only the Ryder Cup but the rest of my career. And I think that the guys need to be willing to put the team first. And sometimes that's difficult, and I think that this group of guys does a great job of that. One of the things that I love about this group, and I'm not ashamed to say that as an older player that's been out there longer, I look up to these guys. They genuinely love each other, and they're friends. And when I came out on tour, I had a much different outlook. I looked at everybody as the enemy, and I made everybody out to be against me. And I really regret that. I love this generation of how they've gone about their careers and how their friendships, and it makes the life on tour a lot better. And that's what I admire most about this group, and I think that's what will make them great teammates. I think that Bethpage also, the fans are going to be our 13th team member, and I think that I've always been under the impression that Bethpage is New York's home course. Winged Foot and Shinnecock are amazing courses, but you talk to a real New Yorker, they brag about Bethpage, and I've always. In my mind, I've always thought of Bethpage as New York's home course, which is now America's home course. And I want the fans to treat it that way. They need to defend this course in the right, appropriate way. But this is where the fans and the New Yorkers need to come out and support this team. And the guys on the team that are out there, like what you were talking about, they're going to embrace that. And they're going to these New York fans are going to be pulling for us hard. And I love that. I'm going to have the 12 best players on the team. I don't care where they play. So we have a mission to win this tournament. I'm not worried about the live stuff. I want the best players on the team. By the time we get to Bethpage in 2025, we have no clue how the layout of the golf world is going to be. As it comes to going to live events, if there's guys that are on the fringe, I'm willing to do that. I've only been the captain for 2 weeks, and we haven't really even gotten the real points started, which start next year. So I'll have to wait and see how everything shakes out. And my biggest concern is having the best players on the team.
All right, so Keegan Bradley addressing the media about what he intends to do with his team, and can't we all just get along approach and getting the best players representing the United States. And I don't know who would disagree with the logic of that approach. Here you can see the United States Ryder Cup standings if it were today. Obviously, we have a lot of water still yet to flow under the bridge on this. But you can see the top 6 for those of you that are watching us on the television side are all in caps, because those are the ones that would automatically qualify. And then after that, it's a decision of what he wants to do. I mean, he's implied that he would probably go down the road of having more automatic qualifiers. You know, I would think maybe at least 3 more. So instead of 6, it's 9, and then 3 captain's picks, which is interesting. A lot of people hear that and go, well, is that because he was inside the top 12 last time and he didn't get a captain's pick? Maybe, but if that were the case, he still wouldn't have been automatic because he was 11th. So we'll see how it plays out for Keegan Bradley. And we got a lot of, with the interviews that we did, you know, what was it? Now going back a couple weeks ago, but with the interviews that we did talking about the state of the game, one of those that I asked about, and he had very strong comments, was Tom Kite about the game at its top competitive levels. So let's reflect on that for 1 second. Let's jump back to a past United States Ryder Cup captain and someone who's still amongst the highest point earners ever for Team USA, and hear from this major champion, from Tom Kite.
You know, the professional game right now is not in a great place. I think golf is in a phenomenal place. The amateur golf, and you know, the fact that so many people are playing. You know, people have been trying to get the game to grow for decades, and all we needed was a pandemic to do it. And you know, all of a sudden, more and more people are playing golf and enjoying the game, and there's so many different ways of playing golf now, with Top Golf and you know, all sorts of different vehicles to go out there and take advantage of the game. But the professional game right now is in a especially on the men's side, specifically on the men's side, is not in a good place. When you start taking some of the top players and you take them away from the tournaments, it dilutes the field, and you know, what's going on right now is really sad in my mind. And you know, the bad thing about it is that, you know, it's all about money. And golf, you know, I'm a professional athlete, so I played for the money, so I understand it. But you know, there's always been something about golf. It's just, you know, you play for the history, and if you create a little bit of history, well, then you make some money and you do well. And, you know, I know a lot of players have different lifestyles, and what's enough for one person might not be enough for somebody else. But, you know, the PGA Tour provided for a lot of players and did a very good job of that, and provided for them and their families, and beyond their families, it provided for foundations that they've set up and allowed them to do charity work and give back to the game and support hospitals and support causes that are meaningful to them. And you know, I just have a tough time thinking that anything could be better than what the PGA Tour has offered throughout the years, and to have these players become so single-minded that, you know, I want money for me and I want money to take care of my family. Well, your family's taken care of probably 5 or 6 generations down the line, long before you jump ship. So, you know, I'm kind of sad with what's going on in the men's professional game right now.
Oh, so Tom Kite trying to figure out what's going on with the men's professional game. When he was talking about, you know, you play for the history and to make history, I always love when we get a chance to speak with legends, you know, World Golf Hall of Famers like Tom. What's important to them? I mean, what are the pieces that from a distinguished career you keep this around or that around to remind you of what you've done? Maybe it's the trophies on the trophy case. I'm not sure. But when we get a chance to ask the question of what's important to them, I love saying to them, hey, just take your camera and take us there. So what you're about to see here, we've never aired on the Fairways of Life show before. So this was just us talking with Tom Kite and saying, hey, would you mind giving us a little tour? What remains of your memories of when you made history that are important to you?
Those are the 3 runner-ups at Augusta. The one up there, that's Bay Hill. One of the times that I won Bay Hill, and then this kind of moves to, the trophy case and a few of the select things. Ryder Cup and
I definitely want to see that trophy case if I may, but just pan to your right for a second and the flag that's in the glass, if you could tell us about that U.S. Open flag.
Well, that's the, geez, I gotta get it. Sorry. That's the flag that actually flew at the U.S. Open in 1992. It was the one that was getting whipsawed in that 40 plus mile an hour wind.
Absolutely amazing. Now, may we be so bold to ask what's inside of that glass case?
The trophy case?
Yeah.
Well, there's the U.S. Open trophy and a Ryder Cup from my captaincy. And then, distinguished young alumnus from the University of Texas and Hall of Honor from the University of Texas and a number of other little trophies. Bob Jones Award up top there. You see
There's another, looks like a mini Ryder Cup in the upper right.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The actual Ryder Cup that's right there in the middle, that's the one that is signed by the 97 team.
Amazing.
It was really good. Byron Nelson Award again. Arnold Palmer Awards. There's the crystal is the Players Championship. The little Ryder Cup was my gift. I had a sculptor sculpt that Ryder Cup. That was my gift to the European Ryder Cup team in '97 as the captain. And then I'll come over here, and this was my gift to the American Ryder Cup team. It's
beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty cool sculpture. The American Eagle swooping down to get the Ryder Cup.
Cool stuff, isn't it? To actually go through, I say trophy case, it was more than that, with a legend like Tom Kite. So you kind of get, I don't know what else to call it than very much a behind-the-scenes look at that. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back live from Royal Troon on this 152nd Open, we're going to talk a little bit about this host site and more.
I got ball fit in 2000 and went on a little run. Then Bridgestone fit me again, and I went on another run. I just got fit again for the new Tour BX. The ball fitting's been helping me. Will it help you?
Boyne Golf provides the ultimate world-class golf destination with 10 championship-caliber courses spanning 3 resorts. Centered in Michigan's northern Lower Peninsula, the courses are the products of some of the game's masters, including Robert Trent Jones Sr., Arthur Hills, and Donald Ross. From the all-inclusive vacation packages, elite instruction with the Boyne Golf Academy, tournaments, and so much more, Boyne Golf truly offers an unrivaled Michigan golf vacation experience. Just log on to BoyneGolf.com.
I think when you're training for other sports, or why most people go to the gym is so that they can have muscles and be strong and be healthy. And a lot of the reason why they struggle to play golf is their body doesn't move properly for them to be able to hit a golf ball. And when you're training for golf, it's a little bit different because you're focused more on flexibility and mobility and being strong in motion. When you're able to kind of have a warm up and have a workout routine and kind of gradually build up to where you're training your body to move properly, yeah, you're going to get a lot of big dividends on the golf course.
PGA Tour Superstore pros aren't born. They're made. Every January, hundreds of associates talk to the top manufacturers, learn about the latest clubs, test the newest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together, hit over 100,000 balls, all so they can get you the perfect fit.
What if we started a company and the company was under no time constraints, no financial constraints? The one constraint is their clubs had to be exceptional performers and much better than any other alternative. I was told time and again it'll never work. It worked like a house of fire. And I'll tell you what, I think our customers love it. BXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Stride by Zero Friction, the first of its kind personal caddy. Walk in comfort and style with Stride's remote and follow me technology. The Stride handles almost any terrain, and its 54-hole range will last all day. The lightweight design and removable front wheels makes it simple to handle. Plus, it easily fits golf carts. Pick up your Stride today at a local PGA Tour Superstore near you or at zerofriction.com/Stride. Stride, your personal caddy.
That's the fifth. Green in the par 3, 220 yards. So this is really a tough par 3, this fifth. Players have a tendency to go to left, when they struggle the most. There's a collection of pot bunkers waiting over on that side. A well-positioned bunker also represents danger on the front right of the green, and players will struggle to access any tucked away pins with the wind typically coming from behind. It's interesting too because this hole gets its name from the Kennedy Castle, which was possibly the site of an ancient fort just south of Ayr. Land was formerly known as Greenan Mill. That's why they call this hole Greenan. Really cool. I mentioned to you too the 8th hole when we had a rejoin before. The 8th hole is definitely the most famous hole at Royal Troon. It's called Postage Stamp. It's a par 3. You ready for this? 123 yards. One of the most iconic in the world of golf. It's short, obviously, in length, but it definitely strikes fear into the hearts of many golfers when they stand on that tee. It comes from the fact that there's a number of factors that add to that, including the usual headwind, that small size of the putting surface overall. It accounts for the hole's name. And then the deep bunkers that protect it. There's been many famous moments on the par 3, 8th. Many infamous ones too, in fairness. I think if the most players were offered par, if somebody came up and said, hey, look, I know there's opportunities in every hole, but would you take a par all 4 days on the Postage Stamp hole? Most of them would take it. And this is a hole that they can range anywhere from 99 yards to 123 yards. And it can even play to a yardage of, who knows, that 99 or maybe Championship Sunday. We don't know. We'll see what they decide to do. In 1973 at that hole, 71-year-old Gene Sarazen made a hole-in-one during the first round and become the oldest player to record an ace in a major championship. The next day, he followed it with a birdie after holing out from a bunker. But he did go on to miss the cut. It was just classic. Henrik Stenson made a birdie there on the short hole in the final round of 2016 to take a one-shot lead over Phil Mickelson. Another hole that I personally think stands out is the Railway. That's the par 4 11th, 498 yards. White sand hills is difficult. The Railway for this hole takes the honor of being the hardest hole at Royal Troon and one of the toughest in the game of golf. Once again, the significant carry is required from the back tees to a fairway that's angled away to the right. The ideal line involves a carry over gorse bushes and bravery not to be put off by the out-of-bounds railway line running tight along the right side. The opening shot can vary in difficulty depending upon tee position. The second remains devilish in all circumstances with a Railway always in play. Gorse bushes down that left-hand side and a lone greenside bunker awaiting shots that bail out. The process to make par at the 11th is actually pretty simple. You'll need to hit your best 2 shots of the day. Easier said than done, especially considering the hole usually plays straight into the teeth of the wind. A par will feel like a birdie at the par 4 11th for most. Open champions at Royal Troon in 1923. Arthur Havers, he was an Englishman. In 1950, the famed Bobby Locke, perhaps the best putter the game has ever known. In 1962, Arnold Palmer defended the Open. when he won over Kel Nagel, who was the one that robbed him of his opportunity to win in his debut at the Open in 1960 at the Old Course of St. Andrews. 1973, it was Tom Weiskopf leading from stem to stern, wire to wire. In 1982, Tom Watson continued his march through the Open. When it was all said and done, Tom Watson has won the Open 5 times, only one short of the all-time record of 6. 1989, it was a playoff for Mark Calcavecchia to break through and win his victory. Remember, he told us on the Fairways of Life show that the putter he used in that day in victory, his wife mixed up and gave away at a charity event. So someone somewhere has a ping putter that won a major championship. I hope it still performs with them with the magic that it has within. 1997, 25-year-old then Justin Leonard won. He came over by himself without his family, and he left carrying the claret jug. In 2004, Todd Hamilton surprised many with his victory right here at Royal Troon. In 2016, Henrik Stenson won by 3 over Phil Mickelson in what was arguably the most epic final day duel between 2 players in a major championship. That was assessed by none other than Tom Watson and Jack Nicklaus when asked to reflect on the same. It goes to show how well Henrik played, because while he won by 3 over Phil Mickelson, he won by 14 over the third, who happened to be J.B. Holmes that day. I was actually assigned to J.B. Holmes doing the radio in front of Phil and in front of Henrik, so I got to see a ton of their play that day because I kept hanging back. I could call my shots in front of me. I could see them. You know, you're on the course, so there's nobody in front of you. So I could see everything that was going on, and I would provide the shots, but they really didn't need much from me. Why would they? Because of what Phil and Henrik were doing behind us. It was incredible. Henrik ended up shooting a 63 on that Sunday, and Phil Mickelson ended up shooting a score of 65. It was absolutely epic. So what lies in store in 2024, we shall see. Really don't know. As to what lies in store, though, today, let's talk about that for a second, because the press conference schedule for, let's talk about today, let's talk about tomorrow, let's talk about what is going on. The Open press conference schedule coming up today at 2 p.m., which is only about 8 minutes from right now. Brian Harman will be addressing the assembled media. At 2:30 p.m., Ludwig Oberg will be addressing, kind of faded yesterday. I look at it and say, you know, he's 25 years old and it's still a learning opportunity. Tomorrow, Tuesday, at 9 a.m., Rory McIlroy is scheduled in here. At 9:30 a.m., Bryson DeChambeau. Look at this list. Look at this run, guys. At 10 a.m., John Rahm. At 11 a.m., Tiger Woods. At 3 p.m., Scotty Scheffler. At 3:30 p.m., Xander Schauffele. Wednesday at 9 a.m., Tommy Fleetwood. 11 a.m., the RNA will have their press conference. So that's a look at what lies in store for some of the sound that you guys are going to be hearing coming up that I was alluding to a segment or so ago. It all lies ahead. And I'll go through more of the holes at Royal Troon so you get more of a sense of what's going on with all of that as well. So why don't we pop back across the pond, if you please. And Dom, what are you hearing from the people today? And it's particularly, I'm interested about your question of the day and which was related to people playing golf in Scotland.
Yeah, the question of the day was, have you played golf in Scotland? And it's getting worse. 71% now are saying, no, they've never played golf in Scotland. So we need to remedy that, Matt, and figure out how to solve that problem. And there's quite a bit coming in sort of all over the map because it was a wild weekend in golf with stuff happening all over the place in various parts of the world, and a lot of big things happening. A new major a new major champion on the LPGA Tour. Sergio getting his first win on Live. How things unfolded on the last 3 or 4 holes at the Scottish Open with Bob MacIntyre was, I mean, that was pretty special, that putt he made on 18. So Scotland Investor says Bob Mac is still partying and in Oban right now. He will not be at the range until Wednesday afternoon. That a report from Scotland directly.
No doubt about that.
I have no doubt. He'll be unavailable for comment at least for 48 hours. Just Video says, Ernie is the best. There's another story from the weekend. Ernie Els won his first senior major championship, which was it's the college championships, but it's their senior players championship. So he actually got a spot in next year's players championship now. Ernie Els did. Someone's commenting on the big day for Spain over the weekend, which Sergio was referencing during his press conference. Obviously, Spain won the European Championships, and Carlos Alcaraz also won Wimbledon. So it was a big day, in fact, for Spain, for sure. Also, congratulations to Argentina, who won Copa America last evening as well.
Messi got
so
hurt,
there's
though.
a lot of stuff going on in the world of sport over the weekend, Matt.
Yeah, Harry Hall won too on the alternate field event on the PGA Tour, so full credit to him. Very, very well done in that regard. And thank you, Dom, for giving us an update on what you're hearing from people and what's going on with the question of the day. I mean, I'm not terribly surprised that 71% and probably counting haven't played golf in Scotland yet. We get that these are bucket list destinations. I mean, those kind of numbers are probably going to be similar with people playing golf in Ireland. That's why it's so much fun to get over and to play the courses and bring people over like we did last year with a Fairways of Life fan trip. And we're planning one for 2026 to bring a bunch of people over and get a chance to play these wonderful golf courses. Again, I'm not sure if we're going to make it to this side of Scotland on that trip, but we might. And if we did, I'd love to play here at Royal Troon. I'd like to play Turnberry. So you guys can see that one as well. It would be absolutely amazing. The week ahead is sure to be amazing. Today is gorgeous. The next couple of days supposed to be really nice weather, really low winds. On Thursday, it starts to switch. Winds on Thursday and Friday expected to be upwards to 15 miles per hour. That's still pretty light by Scottish standards and even by those which challenge the best players in the world. About 50-50% chance of weather coming through over the weekend. The wind is ticking up, so too are the percentage chances of weather happening here at Royal Troon. So maybe for those of you that, and maybe Dom, you'll remember to ask this as a question of the day. How many people love to see weather at the Open that's just like watching a car wreck, because they just want to see the best of the best struggle in really, really, really tough conditions? Right now, the forecast isn't for really, really tough conditions, but it's definitely for a little bit of a change.
I want to see that. I want to see a huge. I want to see a mess. I want to see carnage. Me.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. That's why I have two sets of waterproof clothing here with me, and I have two sets of shoes, because usually we're out there and it's just like someone taking a hose and just spraying you down with a hose. We'll see if that lies in store as we move forward. Very, very excited about everything that is going to be happening here at Royal Troon and sharing all of it with you guys over the course of the next few days. So thank you for hanging with us. Thanks for being here. Remember, you can check in with the Fairways of Life YouTube channel anytime you want, and we're constantly putting new content out there. Please make sure that you subscribe. We're going to talk more tomorrow about our giveaway, which we're going to launch this week of the Open. I'll probably let it go for a couple of weeks, but I want to give away a QI10 driver by TaylorMade and really kick it up. All right, guys, have a great Monday. Thanks so much for your time. As I mentioned, we're going to be back again 8 a.m. Eastern Time live from the 152nd Open at Royal Troon. Until we are together again, please be well and goodbye for now.